Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Monir El Azzouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we will do the December update. So what happened in December? But before, I wanted to wish you all a happy new year, all the best wishes for you. And first with a lot of health, if I can say, during this pandemic. I think it's the best thing that I can wish you for you and all your family. So let's start now with the first information for January 2021, which is the Brexit. So as of January 1st, 2021, the UK is not anymore part of the European Union. So that means also that all the medical device companies that are selling products in Europe, in the UK, should now change, if I can say, their way to deliver products. And the first thing is mainly to have a UK responsible person. So this is a company that will be acting like an EU responsible person. This is a company that will be located inside the UK. With a business address inside the UK, and this company should represent the manufacturers that are located outside of the UK, so that they can continue to sell their products in the UK. So this UK responsible person will have, as I've said, the same role as an EU rep. So they will confirm that your declaration of conformity, your technical files are correct. They will store them. They will collaborate with MHRA in case of any question, in case of any preventive actions to perform. Also, they have to inform MHRA of the importers of the devices. They have to register your products inside the MHRA database. So there is a lot of action that are really similar. So don't hesitate also to contact us, so at Easy Medical Device, because we opened an office in the UK and we can represent your company for this UK responsible person. So don't hesitate to do that. Related to the registration, so there is some grace period. So mainly if you have certain class of device or type of device, then there is different periods. So in terms of products, so mainly if you are an active implantable medical device, a class 3 medical device, class 2B implantable medical device, and if you were on the an in-vitro product under the list A product, so it's still not the in-vitro diagnostic regulation classification, is still the in-vitro diagnostic directive classification. So if you are an IVD under list A, then you have to register your products until May 1st, 2021. After this date, you will not be conform anymore, so you'll have to register within the MHRA before this date. For class 2B non-implantable medical devices, class 2A medical devices, in vitro diagnostic that are under list B products or self-test in vitro diagnostic products, they have to register before September 1st, 2021. And the last one is class 1 medical devices and general in vitro diagnostic products, so which have to register before January 1st, 2022. So you have still 1 year to register within this MHRA. So this means that there is still a transition happening there, and you'll have really to be able to comply to all this. If your products are already CE marked, then you can continue to deliver those products to the UK market until June 30th, 2023. After that date, you need to have a UKCA registration. So we'll talk about that, I think, in other episodes. If you want also to have more information about the Brexit, so I advise you to go to the blog of Eric Volbrecht. So there is also an article talking about Brexit, the situation, what is changing for you, what is not changing. So this is an overview really of the situation for your company. So don't hesitate to go there. I have put all the links on the show notes, so don't hesitate to go to the show notes and you'll have all the links for the Brexit, for the documentation, for the information, so everything will be there. There is also another exit that we are talking about since a long time, and this is about Swixit and Turkxit. Mainly, this is the next exit that we are talking about, because actually the Switzerland and Turkey has an agreement, an MRA, so with for Switzerland with the European Union, a custom agreement with for Turkey with the European Union, where mainly the mention of the EU MDD was there, but there is no mention of the EU MDR. So there is a lot of questions that we were asking ourselves about that, mainly as of the 26th of May 2021, then the EU MDR will be applicable. So the question mainly that we were asking is, what about the notified bodies that are located inside those countries? So inside Switzerland and inside Turkey, can the certificates that they provided be still valid after these dates? And I issued a survey for that on LinkedIn, so go also to the show notes and you'll get the question, and if possible you can answer, and you'll get also the result of everybody else. For now, I saw a lot of no, all the certificates will be invalid as of the 26th of May 2021, which I agree, because mainly the EU MDR is the new regulation that is happening by this date, and the transition period is mentioned inside the EU MDR. So it means that if those countries are not able to apply EU MDR, so then they are not able also to maintain the certificates of their notified bodies by this date. So my advice is really to be looking for answers regarding this topic, because if your company has a notified body located in Turkey or in Switzerland, I think in Switzerland there is only one that I've seen, but I don't know if it's still and it says it will be withdrawn after the MRA. But for Turkey there is a lot of them. There is 4 or 5 of them that are listed. So mainly you have really to understand the situation, because if it's true by the 26th of May 2021 their certificate is not valid anymore, then you cannot sell your products anymore to the European Union. So it's mainly the issue here. So go to the survey, answer to the survey if you can. So just to get an overview from everybody. Also comment if you have some comments, and then we can have a better answer. We are just waiting now for the European Union to comment on this topic. Okay, so then the rolling plan. So the rolling plan is mainly the action plan that the European Union is putting to talk about the situation for EU MDR and EU IVDR. So you have also on the show notes the link for the rolling plan with all the action, and I just noticed three actions that are still ongoing, which are the common specification for Annex 16 products, which are the products that are without a medical purpose. So this common specification is planned for Q2 2021, so we should have a view of it. The expert laboratories also. So it is mentioned also that we have to have some expert laboratories, like the expert panels that were created. We have to have also expert laboratories that have some qualification to evaluate some products. So those were planned, but apparently it's not planned anymore. So this means that they are on the list, but it says not in planning. So mainly the expert panel are in progress to be finished, to be completed, but the expert laboratories are not there. So I don't know exactly what will be the impact for the medical device manufacturers or notified bodies or the European Union if the expert laboratories are not available, and we need to make some specific analysis about some medical devices. But we'll see about that. Then the last one is the famous one, the harmonized standard with the CE and Senelec. So the CE and Senelec should receive a mandate by January this year, so now, and we hope that then they will find a solution to provide some harmonized standard. Just a reminder, because a lot of people are asking me that. So the harmonized standards are not mandatory. Mainly, if you use them, it's better. But if you don't use them, so you'll have maybe to have some more proof that this is the right standards to use. But it's not like it's mandatory for you to use them. You can use any other standards, but the thing is that notified bodies will maybe ask you more questions about these standards and why you used it, nothing else. Okay, next point is the fact that it's been now 1 month that the EUDAMED actor module is live. So since December 1st, we can now register the economic operators, so manufacturers, authorized representatives, importers, system procedure pack provider can be registered now within the EUDAMED. There is one thing that I noticed on LinkedIn that was issued by Ronald Boumans on LinkedIn. It's about the fact that the PRRC details information are made public, which is mentioned already on the EU MDR. But the fact that it's made public creates some problems, if I can say. So first, we hope that the PRRC are not providing their personal informations, but just really the information from their companies, the address of their companies and everything, and the phone number of their companies, and not their personal phone numbers, just to keep some privacy, if I can say. The other thing is also the fact that it was said that if you are looking for a PRRC, then you can maybe also go to EUDAMED and find some person and try to hire them directly there. So because you have your phone number, their phone numbers, their details and everything, so you can say, okay, I'll hire you as a PRC. Do you want to come to my company? So mainly this is the thing that can happen. So so don't be surprised if you get a phone call from some agencies or some people, some companies that want to hire a PRRC because you are listed on the EUDAMED database. So it means that you are a PRRC, so that you are qualified to help this company. So mainly this is the issue that can happen, and we don't know if this will be, if I can say, changed inside the EUDAMED, or if there is any other possibility to hide some of the information. But for now, it's possible to access those information there. Team NB. So Team NB really worked hard last month because they issued a lot of documentation. And today they issued a position paper related to the drug device combination products. So to explain about the work that should be done for notified bodies related to drug device combination products. And one point was mentioned there, which is mainly the fact that if there is any change to this drug device combination product, should we go again to a notified body? And the answer is yes. There is some requirements to follow. So if there is some changes, then you'll have or the EMA or the MAH, if I can say, has to reach out to a notified body so that to review the change that happened. And it's nearly the same as the MDCG 2020-3, which is talking about significant changes. They issued also kind of a flow chart with all the information about the changes that can happen and if it is or not a significant change. So I really advise you to look at this position paper from the MDCG if you are really interested to understand if a change that you are making for your drug device combination product should maybe be applied, should maybe be requesting a notified body review for it. So the same, you go to the show notes and you'll have all the links about this position paper from Team Notified Body. We'll talk about another position paper of Team Notified Body just after. Next, so we will talk about trainings. So we still have the Green Belt certification training. So it's been now the 7th edition that we issued on December. Now we will have the 8th edition on January 25th. So if you are still interested to learn more about the EU MDR, to have some practical courses, if I can say, with practical exercises. I'm still running this workshop, this training during the week of the January 25th, where we'll have some live sessions, some quizzes, some assignments, and at the end you will have to get your exam, so to get maybe your diploma at the end. So there is a lot of people that participated in the training and really liked it. You can also go to the page of the training and you'll see a lot of testimonials. So it was really a success, and I hope really that this helps those people to reach their objectives because it's really a practical course. So you will not just get some theory. I will give you some practical exercises that you can really go through and then see if you really understand the concept of the EU MDR. So I advise you to go to the page, so school.easymedicaldevice.com/GB. So then you will get all the information about the course, the date and everything. So for now we plan the one from January. I will try to make the planning for the one from February and March also. So don't hesitate to go there. We'll also plan other courses for the on Easy Medical Device. So mainly we are planning for this year a course on IVDR and also a course on biocompatibility. So we'll be really working hard now to finalize those courses and deliver that to you. If you need any other courses, let us know, and we'll try to also plan that with the team and to deliver that as soon as possible. Okay, so great. So, and don't forget, continue to learn, continue to get some courses. As I've said, even if it's with not with the Easy Medical Device, go with any other company, but you have to be trained, you have to understand what is happening within the regulation, so that you can really help your company place your compliant devices on the market. Okay, next one is about notified bodies. So we have this year, so 2021, we should have had 18 notified bodies within the EU MDR and 4 notified bodies within the EU IVDR, but we go backwards because we have 17 within EU MDR and 4 within EU IVDR. So the idea mainly is the fact that BSI UK, which was on the list since in December, has now been removed from MDR and IVDR. So it's why we are going backward with those numbers. So what does it mean? It means that first in December there was just one notified body that was announced, which is the EUDAMED Adriatic. We already talked about that during the last review, but nothing else. So we are still having not a lot of notified bodies. Even if we had notified bodies, there will be also some difficulties, because those notified bodies will not have been able to do some remote audit. So it means that they have to be on site to do audit, but with this pandemic, it's not possible also. So there is a lot of contradictions that are happening now to say we need more notified bodies, but notified bodies cannot travel. So how to solve this problem? So Team NB issued a position paper again. So as I said, they are working really hard. A position paper about the situation with notified bodies. The situation of the fact that there will be between the year 2021 and 2024, there will be a lot of certificates that will expire. As I made the count, and it's around 13,000 MDD or AIMDD, I think MDD more, certificates that will be expiring. But mainly on 2024, where there will be around 7,000 that will be expiring. So what are the suggestions of Team NB? First, the suggestion is to allow remote audits for notified bodies, because mainly actually, even if you are a notified body within EU MDR, you can maybe do a remote audit, but the EU doesn't accept only remote audits to complete EU MDR certificates. You have to do an on-site audit. So now they say, can we do a full remote audit so that we can move forward? Because actually we are losing time, if I can say. So the idea is mainly about that. The situation is also the fact that we have the information is the fact that we have to encourage more also the manufacturers to not wait until their certificate expires in 2024, but really to do things really in advance, to start in 2021, 2022, to really transition to EU MDR, so that there is no rush at the end with all the notified, there is maybe not a lot, so with the notified bodies at the end, which will be overloaded to accept everything. So there is two proposals, or to accept the remote audit, or to really encourage all manufacturers to move forward with their transition period as quick as possible. I also issued a survey for that, just to see if the date of application will be postponed or not. So date of application for MDR and IVDR. Because on this situation, as I've said, we have the Brexit actually, we have the transition period that will start on 26th of May 2021, we have the Swixit, the Turkxit, we have the coronavirus pandemic, we don't have a lot of notified bodies, so the list starts to grow and grow, and we are asking now, okay, maybe there is some voices that are starting to talk about that. Will there be any postponement of the MDR or IVDR? So I also made a survey on that, so please go also to the show notes to get the survey on the EU MDR and IVDR postponement, so that you can see also the answers from the others, you can see the comments. Actually, I looked lastly the results, and it showed around 39%, if I can say, of people that are saying that no, there will be no postponement for EUMDR or IVDR. But there are some people that say, oh, there will be a postponement for both, and some more for EUMDR, some more for IVDR. And IVDR was also something that was discussed by Team NB also on one of their position paper, to say the situation is really catastrophic with only 4 notified bodies now. What can we do? So it's not like we have a lot of perspective. So please go to this survey and try also to answer to it, and just to see your opinion. So to see what you would think about that. Okay. Last point about notified bodies. So there is now a new segment that will be created, which is the UK notified bodies, or UK approved bodies, because now it's not called notified bodies, it's called UK approved bodies. And as of beginning of this year, we received the list from the MHRA of UK approved bodies. So there is actually 3 notified bodies, or 3 approved bodies, that are now on the list of the UK. So to be able to qualify your products for the UK CA. So there is the BSI UK, which is qualified for active implantable medical device, for medical devices, for in-vitro diagnostic, but also for UKNI, which is UK Northern Ireland. So if you need a notified body for an approved body, sorry, I will be always mistaken that. So an approved body for Northern Ireland, then actually BSI UK can do that. And from the list, only BSI UK can do that. So you don't have a lot of choice. The other notified body is approved body again. The other approved body is SGS UK. They are able to do medical devices and in-vitro diagnostic. And the last approved body is UL UK, which is doing only in-vitro diagnostic. I'm sure this is also something that will be updated, so I will try to update you as much as possible. So if I receive the information of the new approved bodies that are on the list, and what are also their qualifications. So the list is also on the show notes, so just go and just try also to get more information about which products they are qualified, or they can also qualify, because there is also this list of MD codes with all the products that they can qualify. Okay, so now let's go to guidances. So mainly there was only one guidance that was issued by the MDCG, which is the guidance on lenses, which is 2020-18. To be honest, I read these guidances, which is about UDI codes, so how to place a UDI code on lenses. It was really not clear at all about the fact that what is the difference with normal products, because it says that if the lens is different correction, or if it's different thing, I mean, they give a lot of parameters, then it's a new UDI code. But for me, it was clear from the beginning that it's like that. But maybe I'm not on this business of lenses, so maybe it's something I miss related to that. They were talking about lenses, and also ready reading glasses, so that you can use directly to read. So this is a new guidance that was issued, and nothing else. But I also placed a link on the show notes about all the guidances that are planned. So it's also the same as the rolling plan. There is a table with all the guidances one by one, and with the planning of them. So it could be interesting for you just to understand if there is a guidance that you need that is in planning now, or maybe it's not in planning at all. So just go to the show notes and you'll get also this link. Okay, so we arrive at the end of this episode, but before, I wanted just to show you the last episode of the podcast that we were releasing on December, just in case you missed them, and also if you need more information about that. So the first one was about how to register your medical devices in Mexico, which is episode 106. So don't hesitate to go there, because we really provided with Josue, we provided a lot of information about how to do that, how to register, what are the difficulties, what is also the political situation, because we talked about the government, also the changes of government, which makes things maybe a bit more difficult. So Josue was really helpful, and he was really asking, telling that he can really help you in case of any need of support for this registration. So don't hesitate to call them. The next one is how to deal with significant changes. So mainly we had a lot of significant changes that discussions lastly, and here we talk specifically with Martin Witte from TÜV Süd, because I wanted to have the opinion of a notified body about significant changes. So we have the MDCG 2020-3, which is mainly giving you a flowchart about the significant changes and how you have to manage them, and if it is or not a significant change. And here with Martin Witte, we discuss more about when you should contact a notified body, what is the consequence if you don't contact them, what is the consequence if the notified body find the issue by themselves and but you did never inform them, etc., etc. So it's something that will be really interesting for you if your products are going through this transition period after the 26th of May 2021, and if you are executing some significant changes out of that. So I think it will be really a great episode. And the last episode of the year, so I just dropped an episode with Easy Medical Device, so how Easy Medical Device can help you. So I started to explain to you all what we are doing all over the year to help the medical device community. So not just doing podcasts or blogs, we are really helping doing a lot of other things like trainings, like providing some templates, like the UK responsible person, also working with S4M Europe for the EU responsible person, EU authorized representative. So there is a lot of things that we are doing, so I just wanted to share that with you. In case you need any support, so don't hesitate to contact us. I'm really happy. I would be really happy to have a call with you and to help you on your projects. Okay, so I think it's the end of this episode, so I hope you really have a good start of the year, and with a lot of fun, with your colleagues, if I can say. If there is any colleagues that need some learnings about EU MDR, about the regulations, etc., don't hesitate to share with them this podcast. Don't hesitate to share with them also the link of the website, so easymedicaldevice.com, so that they can reach out to us also, and that we can also try to help them. Okay, so I wish you really a nice day and talk to you soon.